Thank you, French. Shabbat shalom, greetings to you all. Now, this past week marked all kinds of things. We had the beginning of summer. We had Eid al-Fitr, the end of Ramadan. The Pride Day parades all over North America and many other parts of the world, and probably all kinds of other events too. And if the weather was nice, it might have been the first barbecues for some people for the weekend. And it's a special weekend we have coming up this weekend also. Happy birthday, Canada. On the 1st, it celebrates its sesquicentennial. Now, that's 150 and going strong. And a few days later, of course, it will be the U.S. 4th of July, its birthday. 2 cancers, each with their own protecting shells, both going through emotional periods right now. But happy birthday to all of our Canadian and American friends. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Canada and USA. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you both. As part of the special birthday celebrations in Canada, we've been invited to participate with Faith 150, a government-sponsored program to help showcase diversity, cooperation, and spiritual community. And I'm looking forward to representing us all at the great celebration, too. Now, speaking of which, the government is actually helping finance groups in a very interesting kind of way. For everyone who signs up to one of these special monkey mail things and donates $15 to us, the government will match the 15 and give an additional 15 just for you signing up. Now, if anyone's interested, I will send the link and provide a better explanation because I know that wasn't the best, but we end up getting some extra money out of it, and it's great that the government's willing to participate that way. Now, we had a fabulous turnout last week as many came out to our solstice change of season observation. And we all had a great time. And of course, coming up in a few weeks, we're having our annual walking meditation labyrinth journey, for which we are getting a lot of interest. And I know many of you are looking forward to that also. Now, again, if anyone is interested and wants further information, please email and I'll fill you in. It is on the 18th of July. Now, it's a chance to go within, to seek and find answers, to learn to be mindful, to learn to enjoy the blessings of life. And it's during times of blessings that we learn to share our blessings with those less fortunate, with those who encounter difficulty and sadness. Those are the times that can take such a toll. Veronica, we are thinking of you. Rosemary, of Kiara. So let us all send healing, love, and goodwill to them and to everyone. For you, for your spirits, for all in need of elevation, of healing and renewal, the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love that you all send out. It circles the world, my friends, finding those in need. So thank you, each and every one of you. Mi sheberech Evoteinu Makor HaBracha Limoteinu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed. And Sherry, I'm thinking particularly of you. I know you got big surgery coming up, and I'm thinking of you, and I'm praying for you, and we're all going to be praying for you. We all know that it's the renewal of spirit is a coming together of energy. Friends, the universe is made of energy. You can't kill energy, it just simply transforms. So transform any negativity you have into positive. And it's our coming together as friends. That's a havura, a fellowship. That's what we'll be doing on the weekend of the 2 great birthdays. Joining to express our nature of kindness, compassion, and energy of sharing, of thought and feeling, of hopes and dreams and wishes. That unites us all coming together every week in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, spiritually, psychically, to gather and to share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Right now. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam, Yachad, Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam, Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. So as a community, let us all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world, my friends. Now this week, we read chukat, the laws. Now it's called the laws, but it's really only about a few specific ones which deal with a very specific issue. It is about the mysterious red cow, the red heifer, about using hyssop to cleanse, about the unclean contagion of death, what and how you cleanse things on the third day, on the seventh day. You see, not all of the law had been revealed at Sinai. Instead, the law continues to be elaborated upon and added to as the people move closer to the promised land. Now, the law is an ongoing part of the people's life, and it is woven throughout all that takes place in the wilderness. And a huge shift is going to take place in the law coming up. And when it does, I'm going to point it out to you. Now, I would venture to say that most commentaries on this particular parsha focus on this mysterious, still searched for, but not yet found, red heifer, para aduma, for which an entire tractate of the Mishnah was dedicated. Now remember, friends, the Talmud comprises two components. The Mishnah, which was the core text, the legal documents, and the Gemara, the analysis and commentary by the rabbis and scholars, which then goes together and completes the Talmud, although it's never really complete, is it? Now for the red heifer, there is Mishnah but no Gemara, so do not be afraid to throw your own commentary into the mix. Anyhow, the laws about the red heifer were kind of necessary for the biblical purification as laid out in this parsha. And the whole idea of the red heifer was later thought to be about heralding the coming of a third temple. But in reality, only 8 of these red heifers have been recorded between the time of Moses and the end of the second temple. And that would be 1,500 years, maybe. So the red heifer, actually, it had its own history. It was sacred in Greek mythology, belonged to Apollo. And of course, many Christians believed and still believe that the second coming of Jesus cannot occur without the third temple being built, which cannot be built, according to some, without a red heifer, which is why we're continuing to look for them today, and we haven't found any yet. But since there was no temple in Moses' time, it's really not necessary that there be a temple for the ritual to take place, which was a purification ritual, right? Because it was all for the tabernacle. And we know how important the idea of purification from contaminants was to biblical man. We've drifted from biblical man's understanding of sacred law for many, many reasons. And we'll talk about them, and we've talked about them before, but we'll continue to. Now notice also the instruction for its sacrifice was for Eleazar, son of Aaron. And that's actually a forewarning of what's to come. And also, speaking of the mysterious and the mystical, in this parsha we have the magical, mystical bronze serpent, whose name was Nehushtan. Magical, powerful, a cure from the plague which God sends. And of course, now it's the symbol for healing for doctors everywhere. Now, to some, the healing symbol is for the staff of Asclepius. To others, it's from Moses and the story of Nehushtan. We know it existed because we read that it was destroyed by King Hezekiah in Kings 2 in the Tanakh. Hezekiah ruled in the 8th century before the Common Era, and for those who have been to the Holy See, Nehushtan. And this entire scene from this particular parsha is prominently depicted in the great Michelangelo Sistine Chapel. Now, people always love the mysterious, mystical parts of the Bible, but contained within here are really two other incredibly important things. The first is there are bookends of death, and they're really important bookends. The second is the crime of Moses, although you may not notice it at first. Now, for the first of our bookends, we're told Miriam dies, Moses' sister. That's it, no more. Numbers 21. And the Israelites, the whole community, came to the wilderness of Zin in the first month. The people stayed in Kadesh. And Miriam died there, and she was buried there. Well, that's it. Kind of reminiscent of our parsha, the life of Sarah, which tells us nothing about Sarah. We do not even say goodbye to her or observe mourning. Now, to the first female prophet of Israel, it's almost like a bit of a letdown, isn't it? We then fast forward to Numbers 20:24 for the closing bookend, where God is talking to Moses and said, "Let Aaron be gathered for his kin, for he shall not come into the land that I have given to the Israelites, because you both have rebelled against my word, the waters of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up Hor the mountain, and strip Aaron of his garments, and clothe with them Eleazar his son, and Aaron will be gathered up and will die there." So first we have the death of Miriam, now we have the death of Aaron, the two siblings of Moses taken in this same thing. And that's exactly what happens. And so ends an era. The transfer of the priesthood complete, the end of the leaders of the wilderness generation. Now, what's also not abundantly clear is that we've actually not just fast forwarded to Aaron's death, but we have fast forwarded 40 years. The wilderness generation is dead, and a new generation is poised to enter the promised land. We're just not told. It's 40 years later, you just kind of got to figure it out. What takes place in those 40 years, we read about in other works, of course. Now, in between these two events, we see the crime of Moses, Numbers 22. And the community had no water, and they assembled against Moses and against Aaron. Well, the people complained for a change. So Moses and Aaron appealed to God, and God says, "Take the staff and assemble the community, you and Aaron your brother, and you shall speak to the rock before their eyes, and it will yield its water. And I shall bring forth water for them from the rock, and give drink to the community and to its beasts." Simple enough instructions. And Moses took the staff from before the Lord as he had charged. "Listen, pray, rebels, shall we bring forth water for you from this rock?" Moses raised his hand and he struck the rock with his staff twice. And abundant water came out, and the community with its beasts drank. Maybe now they'll stop their complaining. And then God says to Moses and to Aaron, "Inasmuch as you did not trust me, to sanctify me before the eyes of the Israelites, even so, you shall not bring this assembly to the land that I have given to them." Now, there's been much discussion throughout history on these events. First, notice that God says, "Take the staff," not your staff. The staff kept at the tent of meeting to warn rebels, Aaron's staff that we read about. It has now become the symbol of power. And Moses says, "Listen, rebels." Now, this is the same thing God will say to him later. Next, he says, "Shall we bring forth water?" Well, they did not. God did. Third is the crime. Now, many believe Moses' crime was striking the rock when he was told to talk to it. And you're going to read over and over again that that's the crime. Well, I don't think so. In the similar prior episode in Exodus, he struck the rock to get the water. So the choice of words and actions here is actually quite similar. No. Moses' sin, for which he's condemned to die outside the borders of the promised land, is his presumptuous claim at the very moment he's supposed to sanctify God in the eyes of the people, that it is he and Aaron who will bring forth the water from the rock. He was to elevate God to the people. As God said, "Inasmuch as you did not trust me to sanctify me before the eyes of the Israelites." Instead, he says he and Aaron are going to do it. So I think that's really what it's about. Who doesn't want to be appreciated? Don't we all? Pulled me out of bondage, and you made me renewed inside. Filled up a hunger that had always been denied. Opened up a door no man can shut, and you opened it up so wide. And you chosen me to be among the few. What can I do for you? It's about appreciation. Now, in the past, I presented various possibilities because that's the beauty of each parsha. You get something different from it. I presented the possibilities that the level of anthropomorphism of God here is at its highest level, giving him human feelings and ego. I've talked about Moses perhaps succumbing to the pressures of the people and believing his own press. But the beauty of the Torah is there is no right answer every time we read it. We can learn to see it differently, partly based upon where we are in our own journey. This, my friends, is about the broken heart of God. Everyone needs love. If we give love, we get love. God wasn't asking for so much. And so in being ignored, perhaps, God had a broken heart. Oh, troubled dust, concealing an undivided love. The heart beneath is teaching to the broken heart above. Let the heavens falter and let the earth proclaim. Come healing of the altar, come healing of the name. Come healing by Leonard Cohen. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light. All who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, good healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive, learn to love. Open your hearts and honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace. Keep working on manifesting your year of freedom, your new life, with all of the new opportunities you get. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You do have the knowledge of what is good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. And do so with sincerity, with accountability, with vulnerability. Forgive those who have hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and be compassionate. Do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, my friends. Follow love. It's always there in front of you. Remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Please act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none. Defraud none. Hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness, mindfulness, and the ability to be present in all circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Recognize your ability to be a contagion of holiness, my friends, to touch and transform the lives around you. You are forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody that you meet. Now the Lord loves the one that loves the Lord. And the law says if you don't give, that you don't get loving. Now the Lord helps those that help themselves. And the law says whatever you do is good to come right back on you. We all make it out like we own this whole world, while the leaders of nations acting like baby girls with no thoughts for their God, who provides us with all. But when death comes to claim them, who will stand and who will fall? Now that, of course, was the great George Harrison. The Lord loves the one. Enjoy life and spread the blessings you've been given. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. The great lessons of leadership are all around us. Be there for someone, because someone's always there for you, whether you know it or not. Be happy, be helpful, be kind, be loving. Now, until the next time. And please remember, my friends, if you have not returned the email to me asking me to keep you on the list, I will have to comply with the law and remove you from the list. And this will be the last email then that you receive. Now, you can always be added again if you choose. And you can always go to our webpage at rabbidavidgellman.com or our YouTube channel to see the latest offering. Thank you for allowing me into your lives. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Bye.